I've always been a little bit of an environmentalist. We know that we need to be good stewards of the land. We know the benefits of allowing riparian to grow back. I just feel a moral responsibility to help take care of the environment. I love being out on the farm. I've got 3 young daughters that I just want to show them the importance of taking care and being a good steward of the land and the benefits that it can have from that. On this particular quarter, we had quite a large area where we had constant runoff, and so it was very much a moist area that needed some attention. You just let nature take its course and go from there, and it's amazing the things you learn with that. We've left it. We have just this spring planted 30 trees at the far end of this project, and we'll see how that goes, but I guess that'll be an interesting experiment too, to see if what comes back in nature opposed to what we're putting there ourselves.
The word that best describes having this incredible riparian zone in our landscape is anti-fragile. It allows us to be resilient no matter what happens from a climatic perspective, because we've got water stored, we've got trees growing, we've got biodiversity. It's just such an amazing resource to have access to, and so it would be silly for us to not partner with it. This area down here, if properly managed, if properly grazed, respecting the riparian zone at specific times of the year, is going to provide insurance from a grazing perspective should we end up in a really big drought. The operative word is that you have to manage the system at the right time of the year. If you come in at the wrong time, it's going to end up creating a whole bunch of problems. And so the value in having this kind of water harvesting feature on the property provides me with the ability, again, to pump water up to the top of my hill. It provides drought-free forage at certain times of the year, if required, because we're in the middle of a drought. And so ultimately, I think this is only going to be putting dollars into my pocket and creating resilience with regards to how we choose to manage livestock on this particular property.
In a lot of ways, we always see ourselves as the top of the food chain, humans, and then everything else is below us. But I feel like riparian areas are a great example of how it's an interconnected web, of that we're not actually up here, and all the beings and all the living things and all the working systems go together to support each other. And another reason is it's a small way of showing that pay it forward. Like, I love how in Indigenous cultures they say it's about, like, you're planting 7 generations. And I feel like that is something, as a parent and as a human, and I see humans as being caregivers of the land that we get to live on, that is part of the paying it forward, that's part of, like, leaving it better. When we started this project, there was a lot of money to do all the fencing that we were gonna do, and it's page wire because we do sheep, so that's also more expensive. So Growing Forward and Alice helped contribute to pay, which meant that we paid 1/3. And then for 4 years we did where Alice technically kind of leases the land and uses it, so we got paid annually for that land to be left as ecological services. To me, it's like a win-win-win, because we're getting more hay off, the soil's better for our animals, they're getting more feedings off of it. The groundwater is what we drink and our neighbors drink, so then it's also a service to everyone else as well.
Minimizing cattle activity in these riparian areas helps protect the vegetation and the stream banks. So with an off-site watering system like this, there's solar panels, a tank, a pump in the stream, and a box with a bunch of batteries that recharge the system. And it's all set with a float in the tank, so when cattle come to drink and lower the water, the pump turns on and fills the tank up again. The cattle can get to some of these wet areas, but they don't ever really go there because the water is an easy access to the tank, and they just come here and water and go back to grazing somewhere else.
When land management doesn't happen in an ecological sense, we all end up paying for it. I want to showcase how to create regenerative farming systems that partner with ecosystems like this, with beavers, with all the wildlife in the area, in such a way that we create climate resilience, that we create food security in the future.
It's wonderful, and like I said, the stuff you learn. And I would like to touch on a little bit with the mental health part of it, because that's very important to me. It just really allows you to get out with nature, think about other things, and see how beautiful and how scenic this type of thing is.